Today we are having an exclusive interview with Dr. Charity Twumasi here with us in the studio here. And of course, you know, when she's here, it's always about your health and advice, and especially young people who are watching us on how you should take some of these things very, 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 very serious. And so those who have just been locked on, we just be certain and rest assured that you are going to have some solid education so far as your health is concerned. One thing we must also we would like to bring to your attention is that don't just be watching and live the moment of getting frightened by what we are saying. Live on the advice that is given as well. It's also very much important. Today we are discussing the high causes of stroke among the youth. High causes of stroke amongst the youth. That is very, very important for us to take note of. And so please, if you've just logged on, if you're watching us on Facebook, don't forget to click the like button, also share and comment beneath the comment section so that you can be part of the conversation. So we are live also on Facebook, and we are very, very excited to have all of you who are watching us at the moment. Quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm going straight into the discussion with Dr. Charity Twumasi. She is a doctor and at Chartma Herbal Clinic. So we'll be back. Break. We'll go into the discussion. Stay.
To it, he's been dispossessed by Verratti though, and how about that from Neymar? Brilliant, quite incredible from the Brazilian.
Cheesy Pizza will always be by your side, celebrating with you in moments of joy and happiness. Enjoy your everyday life with a slice of Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza, your way.
From the break, and I'm sure those who are just logged on here, you're waiting for us to start this particular discussion, and we are going deep into the high causes of what really accounts for this high rate of young people recording stroke cases. But there's something I need to bring to your attention, and this is from everydayhealth.com, and this is affiliated to, it's part of the website that are affiliated to the WHO, and they have a very brief summary on what is happening among young people so far as stroke is concerned. It says that for most young people, the chance of having stroke seems like an impossibility, but there is no such thing as being too young for a stroke. It says that it is true that your stroke risk increases with age, but stroke in young people, even infants, children, and adolescents, does happen. In fact, between 10 and 15% of stroke occur in people between the ages of 18 to 50. That's serious. 18 to 50. And 18 to 50, according to the study published in February 2020 in the journal Stroke and WHO in general. Most experts consider young stroke age to be under 40 years. Even though there's an overall stroke rate, especially within the young people, it is alarming the rate at which is even increasing in Africa. Dr. Charity Twumasi would help us get an understanding of what is really causing all of this, because we know the stroke there is for people in retirement age and old people and all. Doc, why are young people getting stroke?
It's so serious now. I mean, it's been on the rise for some time now.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised as to what you were just reading out. Yeah. To our viewers, you know, for some time now, even at my clinic, for some time now, I have a lot of records with young people suffering stroke, you know, and sometimes you begin to look at what is actually happening. But before we look at the causes, we have to look at what stroke actually is. Okay. Now, the truth of the matter is that every human being has stroke. Every human being
will get stroke or has.
It's not you will get stroke. Every human being has a stroke index and a stroke volume. Now that keeps you balanced, right? That makes you be able to walk without falling. So in order for you to have your balance, to be able to stand straight, not to fall, right? You have a stroke index and a stroke volume. So even a baby born today has a stroke index and a stroke.
Wow.
So every human being has stroke. Now when it goes high, when the index go high or it goes low, then the possibility of getting a stroke attack is high. That is where a stroke attack will occur. So every human being has stroke. That's one thing we should all know.
Have in mind.
Have in mind that every human being has stroke. That is a reason why every human being is prone to having stroke. You can easily get it. Stroke is not for retirement age. That's what a lot of people feel.
Yeah, because we know it's for old people.
We know it's for old people. When you get to retirement and you are relaxing, then you have a stroke. No, but young people are even getting stroke now. You see what you were reading from 18 to 50 years, and it's not just an article. It's happening. You get it. It's happening now. This is what happened. The mind, or let me say the brain, controls every part of a body. So for me to be able to lift my hand, for me to be able to raise my leg, for me to be able to blink my eye, for me to be able to even talk as I'm doing now, is a brain that controls all these things. The brain controls. So the brain communicates with the heart, and then it will ask the heart to send blood to the parts of the body. Now, when the brain realizes that the arteries or the nerves that is coming from your hand is coming with a lot of pressure, then the brain decides to take it off. And then we'll say you have stroke.
So it's the brain that causes some part of your body to dysfunction. When the pressure, it identifies the pressure is too much.
It's too much. So stroke occurs in the brain. And you don't have any control over it. There's nothing like this one I can control. It's not like headache where you want to take a painkiller. This one is a brain that decides solely what happens to the human body. So the brain decides to take, it can decide to take your so the brain can decide to take your heart off. It can decide to take your legs off. It can decide to take your hands off.
So that's the diagram we have on the screen.
Yeah, definitely. So the moment the brain has so much pressure, then it's either the blood flow to the brain will become over, or there will be clots, or the arteries will burst.
What would cause this brain to have blockage or there's too much pressure? Is it adrenaline?
Adrenaline is part. You know, I keep telling people that anything you see in the Bible is for our good. Or say my adrenaline. You know. Now, apart from adrenaline, if somebody has BP, the person is prone to having stroke. If somebody is diabetic, the person is prone. But you see, most of the problem with stroke has to do with adrenaline. Because you see, this brain, it doesn't want stress. And see, if you are stressing your brain overly and overly, if the brain cannot take it again, and you see, there's a nerve just around the neck. You see, there's this nerve here that controls the brain, and that's a major nerve to the brain.
Just behind
behind the neck. You see, that's a major nerve to the brain.
And those who are watching, you can see that we are having some common causes of stroke. The doc will be talking about it after the nerves explanation that she's given.
You get it. Now, when the flow of blood to the brain becomes low or becomes overly high, then that is when the brain will take a decision that, okay, I'm too tired. This particular hand is bringing me so much pressure. Let me cut it off so I can take care of the rest of the body. So this is what happens. And this is what we call stroke. So it's a brain which would decide if I have to take your eyes off, take your speech off, take your legs off, take your hands off. The brain can decide to take your kidney off. It can decide to take your liver.
So this brain is more or less like a central point of the whole body.
I call it the control room. It's a control room to your body.
But why is it that people who are mad don't have stroke? Because their mind is not, they are not correct. But
maybe not a form of stroke. Yeah. You see, stroke is a brain deformity. Stroke is brain deformity.
But some of them think very well. Oh,
It's not all of them who thinks very well.
yeah, I know there are some. What about those with mild stroke? They have maybe one side, but they can eat. They can.
A stroke. I mean, we have 3 types of stroke. We have the ischemic. We have the transient stroke is the normal, like the mild ones that we see, and most people have transient stroke and they don't even know.
Hey.
Because you see, in transient stroke, your eye can just be twitching, and it's a transient stroke. You can have just a twitch on the eye, and that is a transient stroke. You can just have a twitch on the lips, and that's a transient stroke. You can even have a twitch on the hand, so it's just your hand that is shaking, or just a finger that is shaking, and it's a transient stroke.
Wow.
You can have just your toe, just one toenail just shaking, and it's a transient stroke. You get it. So transient stroke are always mild, and people don't really take so much attention to it because they feel that, okay, once in a while when I sit, I feel that, okay, my eye will just twitch and this one is nothing. And so they don't take it so serious. Or once in a while, I'll see that my lip will become a bit numb and then it will twitch a bit. And then I feel it's normal. Once in a while, I'll have my jaw just twitch and then it will shake. I'll feel some numbness there and I feel it's normal. And these are all transient stroke. It comes in a mild form. Now, anytime you are getting a transient stroke, then it's telling you that the possibility that you can have an ischemic or a hemorrhagic is high. Because the ischemic and the hemorrhagic is when it has gotten to the extreme, when you have the blood bursting in the brain or you have no flow clots in the brain, then it has gotten to the extreme. Now, until it gets to that stage, then whatever you might be going through, we'll say it's a transient stroke.
Okay, but I see the diagram on screen that says that 2 main types of stroke. Can you run us through this particular one?
The ischemic and the hemorrhagic. Yeah.
Okay.
So the ischemic and the hemorrhagic is what I'm talking about. These are the extreme ones.
Okay.
When you see that now the person have like one hand off or one leg is not working.
Yeah.
You know. These are when it has gotten to the hemorrhagic.
Wow.
Mostly transient stroke will give like a phase shift. So you can have like a phase shift where your face will just twitch to another side. That is a mild one. No.
No, this thing is scary because, so, as you're explaining these types of stroke, we quickly, if we can have the causes of stroke back again, I saw on the diagram that it looks as if all this aside, I mean, overthinking and all of those things. Can we get it through some of the foods that we eat?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you are eating a lot of salt, if you are taking too much salt, the possibility that you can have a stroke is high.
Hey, I love salt.
But if you are taking too much salt, that can give you stroke because you see, salt automatically will make your blood clot.
Salt.
You know, in the kitchen, when you are cooking in the kitchen and you have a cut and you put blood is oozing out and you put a salt on it, it will definitely stop blood flow.
Yes.
You know, so if you are taking in too much salt, then your blood become too thickened.
No, iodated salt.
Whether iodated salt or whatever.
I thought adanchine is what that
salt is salt.
Hey.
If you are taking salt, you get it. Once you are taking salt and it's becoming too much in your system, then the possibility that you can have a stroke is very high because at the end of the day, your blood will thicken up and then lack of circulation will take place.
I see alcohol.
Definitely.
But alcohol is strong. It should get the blood to run freely. Hey, look, alcohol.
Oh, definitely. If you are taking so much alcohol, the possibility that you can have a brain deformity is high. Yeah, it's high. You see, sometimes when we say some of these things, we don't expect people to become scared. We rather expect that people become aware of what is happening, and then they can take precautions,
steps,
you know, so that they don't get into some of these things. So alcohol is a cause. It can cause stroke. Too much of sex can cause stroke. Oh, definitely. Especially with the doggy style, it can cause stroke. You know, the last time I think we were talking about something like that. Now, if you are having sex and you're having this doggy style that everybody likes, you know, now every man when you erect
Yeah.
and you are about to release sperm, your whole system shuts down. Every man. Every man.
The whole body goes off.
The whole nervous system shuts down. Now, when you release your sperm, then you come back to normalcy. Now, between the minutes where you release your sperm and coming back, if the brain and the prostate gland doesn't get back to communication, you can have a stroke.
Hey,
Yes.
there and there.
There and then, you can.
No,
No, it's not scary. It's true. It's not scary. I mean,
this is really scary.
This is happening.
No, this is really scary.
It's not scary.
So the people that enjoy having doggy style, there's a probability that if the brain does not connect quickly
with the prostate gland, when when the system shuts down and it's coming back, if that communication is
you can be locked up.
You can be
that
locked
position. You can stay there
definitely and have a stroke.
Hey.
So it is one of the steps.
I mean, the women, right?
I'm not talking about the women. I'm talking about the men.
Hey.
So this is one of the sex styles that I don't really encourage men to undergo, because the possibility that you might suffer a stroke during the act is very high.
Wow.
And
is there a record that's happened before?
I have seen a lot of people. As a doctor, I have seen a lot of people have it through that. A lot.